Hello, everybody. It's Pastor Jonathan here with this week's edition of the Weekend Wrap-Up. And today, I've got someone with me. This is Pastor John, and he's here to help us think back upon Sunday's message from Pastor Chris. The message was the latest in the series, The Secrets of the Kingdom. This week's message was taken from Luke chapter 16 and was talking about the dishonest manager. So we thought it'd be great to have an honest manager here this morning to help us to reflect on the message from Sunday. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good. Well, I think one of the things that struck me about this particular passage was it's often misunderstood because it's Jesus is talking about a dishonest manager, but some people misunderstand. He's not affirming him for his dishonest behavior. What's he affirming this manager for?
For his shrewdness, really, his ability to take care of the future, as Pastor Chris pointed out.
Right. So it's really not Jesus glorifying someone who was dishonest. He was much more concerned with the fact that he was preparing for the future and being shrewd in his business dealings.
That's right.
That's an important point. So was there anything in particular of a practical nature that struck you about yesterday's message?
Well, the fact that he was preparing for the future, which we should do, as Pastor Chris stressed. And I love what Pastor Chris did with verse 9, because that's an often misunderstood verse where he talks about the unrighteousness of the wealth. And using that, I think the important point is wealth is neutral. You know, Jesus doesn't praise, he never calls it righteous. It's just something we use. It's a tool we have. So the resources we have, which our wealth, I think, is more than money. It's all the resources we have. And the point that Jesus said, use those resources, make friends using those resources to prepare for your future and ultimately your eternal future too. So I thought that was a great point.
We each get to give an account, right?
That's right.
Of what we've done with what God's given us. And so the big idea from Sunday really had to do that God gives us earthly wealth so that we can take care of kingdom purposes. And so it's up to us not just to be faithful in tithing, the 10%, which is important for us to do, but beyond that, to think of all of our resources as God gave them to us so that we can use them. So it's not just my bank account, but it might be other possessions that I have that I can use to glorify Him, to help someone else, to be merciful and kind and generous to them as an expression of God and His love for them as well. So I think about how we can do that. Sometimes we wait for the church to provide opportunities for us to give above and beyond our tithes and offerings. But really, we can look for opportunities around us to love our neighbor and to use the resources that we have to bless them in the name of Christ, right? So, but then there are times when our church does provide extra opportunities for us to give outside of our regular tithes and offerings. And right now, a great example of that is our Operation Backpack.
Absolutely.
And we focused on that this past Sunday because the school year is coming up, and we want to encourage everybody not only to, you can do it one of two things. You can either go and purchase all the supplies, the backpacks, the books, not the books, but the backpacks, the pencils, the pens, all the other school supplies that kids might need for this year, and bring them to the church and drop them off either in the worship center foyer or over in the kids building foyer, or if you don't have time to do that, it's easier for you just to write a check or to give online to that project. You can do that as well. And so we're trying to do enough to come up with 250 backpacks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of backpacks.
It's ambitious.
It is ambitious.
Yeah.
So we want to challenge you to either go and to get those supplies or to be a part of giving so that the church can buy them and be a blessing to the teachers and students this coming year. So to wrap things up, I want to encourage you to pray, one, about opportunities for you to be a blessing in the community or in your neighborhood or in your circle of friends by using your resources for kingdom purposes. Two, you can pray for our community that really is battling COVID right now. There's so many that are affected by that. We encourage you to pray for them. And finally, pray for the teachers and students as they prepare for a new school year. It's coming fast, and we have a lot of those folks involved in our church who represent us in the schools, but even in our community. We want this to be a great and safe and productive year for our students. Well, if you like, take time to comment in the comments below and let us know how Sunday's message spoke to you. And we encourage you to be back with us next week where we'll take time to reflect on the coming message for this week. We hope you have a blessed week, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.